if you're a fan of seeing big infrastructure projects, there's reason for optimism with recent headlines. You believe that this one's actually going to happen?
It looks like it will. I actually think that this one, I think it will go ahead. I think the question now is it a good deal for the city of Calgary? The city is putting up $831 million in cash. The Flames are putting up $40 million. I think it is going to proceed ahead at speed. This thing has broken down a number of times. Like, the deal has been talked about, like you said, for over a decade. This thing's been grinding on for so long. I do think it'll go ahead. The implications of it, the implications for the city's finances, for the next municipal election, that's what's going to be interesting, I think.
I know that it's been difficult for people in Calgary to see Edmonton have a shiny new arena opening in 2017, getting all the big new concerts. People understand there are some infrastructure shortcomings with the Saddle Dome. Can't even accommodate the big concerts anymore.
Which is funny, because that is exactly what happened in the early 1980s when the Saddle Dome was going to be built. So when the Flames first came to Calgary, they played in the Stampede Corral, which, if you want to talk about like an ancient deteriorating barn.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine what it was like to see games in there. But then there was concern, okay, where are the Flames going to play? We need a better arena for the Flames. But one of the other concerns was that Edmonton had just built this nice new arena, Northlands Coliseum.
2017, right around that municipal election, Naheed Nenshi, the incumbent, seeking re-election, and Bill Smith, who appeared to be the most formidable challenger, was quite openly the favorite of the Calgary Flames. Like, I remember the LED boards, the advertising around the ring of the Saddle Dome was like, vote Bill Smith, in like red and yellow text. I mean, it was just so obvious that Nenshi was not the preferred candidate of the Calgary Flames. Bill Smith didn't win. I mean, that's democracy. The people of Calgary, I guess, didn't like what he was putting out there, running on getting an arena deal done. What changed between then, a couple of other breakdowns, including with the current mayor, Jyoti Gondek? I don't think that the only reason why her former chief of staff, Stephen Carter, lost his job was the breakdown in the arena deal talks, but that appeared to be a big part of it. That was early in her tenure after winning that election. So how did we get to where we are right now?
Yeah, I think there's an element of, like you say, it's just been going on for so long. So council approved this deal. So let's go back to Bill Smith ads in the Saddle Dome, what you're talking about. That election, very interesting. Nenshi was running against Bill Smith, but kind of also running against Ken King and Gary Bettman and the Flames. He kind of cast himself as, you know what, these guys want to fleece us for this new arena. And like, I'm going to stand up to these billionaires. I'm going to fight for a good deal for Calgary. You know, if they want us to pay for all this, you know, they can go pay for it themselves. So he kind of cast himself as standing up for the city, the citizens and their interests. His position did soften, though, a couple of years in, and they came to a deal, which was, let's split the costs 50-50, $550 million. And then she says, you know, I think this makes sense on its merits. It's worth it for the civic pride type stuff. And then, of course, as things happen with these things, costs escalate. $550. Oh, well, that won't quite do it. So it looks like it'll be over $600 million. And so by the time the last election rolls around in 2021, the arena is again an issue. And you have progressive candidates campaigning on, you know, no more public dollars for the Flames. Progressive candidates like Jasmine Meehan saying, you know, basically council got railroaded. And if I could go back and undo this deal, I would. Like, these guys they want an arena, they can pay for it themselves. That election happens. Jyoti Gondek is elected mayor. And the thing breaks down. And this is where it gets kind of murky and doesn't still add up to me, which is apparently it fell apart over the costs of some sidewalks and solar panels, which are like very tiny in the big scope of the cost of the actual project. In any case, the Flames walk away. And this new council kind of comes together right away after that and says, let's reboot this. Sonia Sharp is a first-term councillor. She kind of champions this, and she says, let's do this, but we're going to do it different. And so she's been leading this charge, but one of the elements of it is that there has been no real substantial public discussion or public engagement on it. It's kind of like, let's make this happen. And what happened was they came out in April and were like, we got a deal. This is what it is. They didn't even debate it at council, which is a significant difference from the last one in 2019. There you had people critiquing it. You had people arguing for it, against it. It was all discussed on the floor of council. This time, kind of under Sharp's championing of this and the mayor, they come out, they say, you know what, this is a restricted item. And they voted on it in less than 2 minutes. It came to council, they voted on it in less than 2 minutes, unanimous vote, everybody in full agreement. And so that's where we're at.